Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So today's reading is a super interesting one. This is going to be on solar eclipse in Libra. So this is going to be about what changes or revelations have made their way into your life post the eclipse. I'm recording this reading on the 19th of October. The eclipse took place on the 14th October. So without further ado, we have three piles from the left to right. The first pile is moss agate. The second pile is tree agate. And the third pile is pink opal. Pause if you need a little longer. Pick the one which calls your name the most. Now I'm going to begin with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the moss agate, this is going to be your reading. So the first card that I have for you is the Temperance Sagittarius energy. One of the first things that I get also looking at the picture that you chose, you could have experienced a lot of conflict. So mainly, this solar eclipse majorly affected 4 zodiac signs: Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries. I think yours could have been more inclined towards Cancer or Capricorn. I feel like you could have been through a lot of trouble or something, like things could have happened majorly at your household, is what I'm picking up. Conflict. I feel like one of the tones in your pile is conflict. I feel like it was about revealing certain people and their true faces in your life, is what I am hearing. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal conditions. So this caused you so much. I am getting what you call paranoia. It's like you were not able to sleep at night, is what I'm getting. You were not able to be at peace with yourself. You were I think you were really struggling to cope up with what was being shown to you, because even if you look at the picture, there is a reflection of the same soul, or the depiction of a soul flying or elevating, rather I would say, right? Elevating in the water, but in the water it's like starting from the how do I say this? Like it's starting from the tip of it and it's going till the depths of it, like from the surface of it to the depths of it, right? It's like they're giving me that that point where the ocean and the sunset meets, right? You can't really differentiate the starting and the beginning of it. It's almost like they're telling me that your dark side is also the starting and the beginning of you. As much as you praise your light attribute, I think there was a part of you that was neglecting your shadow. You're somebody that doesn't like to face their darker attributes, right? And that makes all of us, like that makes both of us, in fact. But um it was like you needed to see that reflection. It's like this eclipse showed you what it really had to show you. That's what I'm hearing. It was inevitable. You could have not escaped that, is what I'm hearing. And Cancerian energy for me really stands for, in your reading, how you try to remain coy with your own self. You avoid intimacy with yourself. You're neglecting your emotional needs. Wow, this deck just won't shuffle. You could have faced difficulty with money. Capricorn and Cancer. 11th house energy. I am getting your Lilith as well. It was pretty rough on you. That's what I see. It was pretty rough on you, and there was some sort of like mental tormentation. Like, I don't know if you were going through warfare, you knew about it, or it's like when you have a wound, it's very easy for the darker side of the spiritual realm to keep attacking that. It keeps showing you the lack of it. So it could be the past, it could be of what you feel like you don't have in your life right now. You're cribbing about it. um and it was all what you were carrying inside. Some of you could have struggled with the drinking problem. I specifically see a drinking addiction, like somebody who partakes in drinking quite often when they can't deal with life. Sobriety is difficult for them. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords is also Lilith energy for me. It's strong. It's the darker energy. There's nothing wrong with Lilith energy. It just shows you the darker aspects of yourself. See, again, there's somebody diving. This is the Three of Wands, and the cards are also depicting somebody taking a dive inside the water. Where exactly your picture shows, there's a reflection. Like you had to travel. Inside yourself, you had to go inside. There was this really amazing reel that I saw the other day, where they were talking about the gods having a conversation. So where should we hide the secrets of the universe? And they were like, if we hide it at the top of the mountain, mankind will climb and reach there. If we hide it in the depths of the sea, mankind will dive in and reach there. But if we hide that inside mankind, they will not go there, because that's the most difficult thing to do. It was just a animated series of that, where god, or the gods basically knew that everywhere a human will go, they will do they will cross seven seas and all that. But when it comes to taking the deeper dive within themselves, that's when they're not going to do that, and that's where they hid the true secrets of the universe. We would precisely do everything to avoid facing ourselves and going into the deepest, darkest corners of ourselves, where we can find the ultimate answers. This is the Temperance card, which can also be about the alchemy process, right? This is why I thoroughly love the word alchemy. And I think that this phase could have been related to things that used to make your inner child really happy. There's so many depictions of the moon over here. um your subconscious programming, you have to really go into the corners of it. You have to go into the corners and dust off the webs over there and look at them and really open that chest. Like, I'm just getting the reference of an attic, and you're looking inside and you're finding things, and you're scared you're going to find ghosts in there and whatnot. But it's honestly uh, um, the fear of what we might find rather than what we are actually finding. Does that make sense? Like, you're more scared of, oh, what if I find that? Or what if I find that? And how will I handle the terror of it is more scarier for you than the real deal. So your brain might be complicating things for itself, and that could have been something that you were experiencing quite heavily before this eclipse. And I feel like Libra came in to show that balance in your life, where it's like dark and light. Hey, you gotta look at me, right, buddy? Just because you're not wanting to look at me, that doesn't mean that I don't exist over here, right? So I feel like when it came to relationships, I think that okay, before I jump on to what really changes or revelations it is bringing into your life, I would like to read the fourth law and the first, which one? The first law, the law of pure potentiality. So they're telling me this line, which is something I've underlined. Success is the ability to fulfill our desires with effortless ease. Yet, success, including the creation of wealth, has always been considered to be a process that requires hard work, and if it is often considered to be at the expense of others. The more spiritual approach to success, to affluence, which is abundant flow of all good things to us. So, I don't know if you've been a little bit money hungry, or you were feeling that and you were feeling this need to be famous on social media. And I think there was a part of you that wanted that attention to be validated, that you are good enough in what you do and what talents you have. Or it could be your career, and this could also have resulted in envy from or towards your colleagues at work. Or um, I think that the eclipse brought out the ugly faces of people, especially in your workplace as well, or just maybe if you're self-employed, it brought out your shadow attributes, whichever way this resonates with you. But I feel like this impulse, like I feel very restless in your pile number one. I feel like you're still carrying that, or this could be the past energy. However, I feel like you were really carrying this energy, where I feel this sense of just restlessness, plain restlessness. Like I just don't understand what I want to do, and but I have so much energy, because this is this is like an energy that is coming from your root. I think this was something where there was a spiritual force with the eclipse that was trying to really, really get it out. Like it was getting ready to be purged at this point, is what I am hearing. And I'm getting a couple of signs that could be Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo in your charts. That could be quite strong over here, as a lot of focus on success and like money perhaps, and like why you're not getting the things that you want in your own life. And I think it came down to the way that your subconscious programming was conflicting with what you were wanting to manifest. So it's not like the universe didn't want to give you that. And I think that you were having your fair share of blame game with the universe, like you're not giving it that to me, or God and your faith in God, and you're like, God can turn things around, but why is he not giving that to me, right? So I think that you were going through a phase of I really don't like using the word testing. I like to use the word refinement in some shape or form. It helps me strengthen my faith rather than to say that, oh, God is testing me. I don't know. I just feel like refinement brings me a level of consolation and comfort in my faith rather than the word testing. So I feel like that moment was for your refinement, where I see that you were carrying a small bucket and asking God to fulfill this with blessings. And now, after the eclipse, the God has given you a bigger bucket, and He's like, this is what you deserve. Or like you were asking or settling for too less, or you were just not recognizing. It's like the attention that you wanted in whatever area it was in your life, it was to validate that you're good enough. But this eclipse was working in the opposite manner. It wanted you to realize that you're good enough so that you can attract that easily. It was not ever about the fact that you were not good enough for what you're asking for. It was to, again, relinquish that force in your life of negativity that used to keep telling you that you're not good enough, and you needed something externally to prove that. But that validation is so temporary that it doesn't really last. So spirit and God wanted you to really, really understand this. Like when I say spirit, God, it's just universal forces really wanted you to refine and let yourself know and be concrete. Be concrete. I feel like your self-esteem was quite fragile about whatever you were asking for, and it was precisely quite small than what you actually deserve in that area. So it could have taken a lot of hard work into diving deep into and facing yourself. I see you doing a lot of journaling and all sorts of things to um, I really think that it was about your self identity and to release yourself from uh, where you were wanting something from the outside to prove you that you're good enough for what you're wanting. Then you affirming that to yourself and effortlessly attracting that into your life. That's what I see over here. So I'm seeing that you, in terms of your work, this is what is changing. I feel like it has been your mindset. And when it comes to, I'm getting something about home, like your home environment. There were things that were happening in your household, or your what's that word, first family, no, intimate family, intimate, you get the point, right? Your close family members, there were things happening in your household. There could have been conflict based off your decision making, and things that, because I feel like you had this understanding inside that I am doing something, I'm being guided to make a decision, and right now I know that it is attainable, but it's something that is stopping me inside mentally. That's what I see over here. You knew what was happening with you, and you knew that this purge was inevitable. It had to come. I think now you're relatively, see, I feel so much at peace now, because I was connecting with the energy and I just felt insanely restless. I can only imagine how it was. The intensity was quite strong. I'm picking up on Virgo energy. You had certain, when I consider Virgo, because of it, one of the most prominent characters of it being the perfectionist, I feel like in the darker attribute, I would take it as feeling not good enough, because I have had my fair share of perfectionism, and it is just not a good feeling to have, right? Um, so perfectionism, or feeling like you're not good enough, comes in when, as a child, you are, um, when your parents or people around you, or your caretakers, or your just like adults in your life, they take away the love when you don't do that thing in the way that they want you to do it, or you're not the way that they want you to be. So you think that perfectionism is the best way to not experience abandonment or bleak rejection. It can be either sides of it. So you think that it has to be completely right so that I don't get hurt by somebody else's rejection or abandonment, right? So that's where this comes in, and I think this was a subconscious programming where you thought that this is the way to go about it, but you were not allowing those creative that creative flow to flow through you. Basically, that energy was being blocked by your childhood history or trauma. Basically, that's what I see over here. This could have really panned out in your relationships where you were so critical and critical about your own behavior, and this could have been a crucial phase in your I don't know, your maturity, emotional intelligence, or when it comes to a partner that you have, or it could have resulted in a breakup, a separation, something where things were not working out. And I think that there was a time apart taken, or there was some sort of evaluation happening at that point where, if this would have happened, now I see things smoothing out for you, panning out in a better form, because the puzzle pieces have been refined, like how you were probably trying to fit in. Have you seen that game that children play, infant, where there's like a shapes, and they have to put in those blocks inside? So if there's a triangle, they have to put in a triangle, but if you try to put circle through it, it won't go inside. So I see, like, where you were trying to put a circle through a triangle, that circle has been refined into a triangle that fits perfectly. Does that make sense? So it's like you were trying to make something fit that was not completely carved for it, or there were improvements or adjustments required to be made over there, whether it's your career or relationship. It was just about the mindset and the way you were, the energy and the mindset you were really bringing into that sphere of your life, right? So I see better communication. I feel like you are becoming more stronger in the way you I see like stronger boundaries over here. I see you becoming more confident in what you say. And um, I don't know if you were praying, if you were doing protection spells or protection prayers. Um, I think that there were negative energies in your household atmosphere or something like that, which were, triggering a hostile environment at home, perhaps a lot of conflict, or just with the partner that we're talking about, or whatever it is. I feel like that is being cleared out, or you have been saging your place. You might be feeling that need to sage and, is like smoke it out, like clean it out, and all that stuff. Like a lot of aromatherapy is what I'm picking up at this point. Like if you have strong Taurus, I would recommend you to do that because it kind of grounds you, it puts you back. So earthy smells, like musky perfumes might be something that you prefer because it connects you with the earth. um I also feel like to resonate better or utilize the energy of the eclipse or what has happened, the aftermath of it. You can most definitely try growing some plants or go sit in the grass and do some grounding exercises. I feel like at this point the earth element is really important for you because because you've gone through a purge, and right now it's like you need to get yourself grounded. That's really how I'm seeing it. Like, you know how a balloon is just floating and you have to catch it and then you hold it and you put something on the string so that it doesn't fly away. That's what I'm seeing, because right now you're in a lot of spiritual energy. Your crown chakra is really activated, but mostly I feel like you could have endured a lot of chest pain that could have resulted because of heart awakening. That's what I see. This process was quite tedious. I see that, but you've done a good job. I think that, whatever purge had to come through. I'm hearing from spirit that don't count your tears according to the purge, okay? Because whether you cried a lot or whether you didn't cry a lot, I think that the work or that the purge or the release that was meant to happen has happened. So you're stepping into the Capricorn energy, or there is, resemblance to the Capricorn energy where you have faced a lot of your childhood fears, and, there's adjustments happening. I feel like there is a relatively good amount of communication that is coming your way when it comes to other people involved in your life. I think that you're going to have good communication that was not happening before, and that was because of the way you were dealing with things. So if your throat chakra was shut down, you were just like, you were pushing people away, you were dismissive, you were avoidant at home or in your relationships. I see that changing because you were scared of something that was blocking you, perhaps a fear of taking advantage of when you be too vulnerable, when you become too vulnerable. I see that changing over here. I see, like, um your self-defensive characteristics soothing themselves out. Like you're learning how to self-soothe. That could also be as a woman, and that doesn't have to be necessary. It could also be for men. But I see like you used to use a lot of masculine strong energy to a masculine shield around you, and like a poker face, and um I don't know, I'm just seeing a woman walk really manly, in a sense. And that is not based off their sexual preference. I just see a woman really using a masculine shield or a way of being, because she doesn't feel safe enough in being her feminine sense. So that shield is also coming down. So it's bringing out your more flowy feminine energy. And that could also just represent as a man, you letting yourself feel your emotions. So now it's connecting you more with your creativity, your purpose. All in all, I see is this as being a really healing phase for you. I know that it came with a lot of struggle. It was tedious on you, for you. It was heavy on you. I feel like, but I feel like pile number one thing to appreciate over here. I see that you are grateful for what has happened. Um, the aftermath of it has allowed you to be easy on yourself, because the Virgo energy of perfectionism can really torment you. I know that feeling. You're really self-critical about everything, and this just brings more self-acceptance, and isn't that such a win, right? So I'm gonna pull out a few conclusive cards to finish off your reading. I am picking up on some, like there's a major message about like upgrade of home situations, or something about maybe renovations or interior. I feel like financial gains are coming in, but that is different for everyone, so I'm not going to comment on that. We have the card I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So this could just be about what I was speaking about, that you are lovable. But most of all, what I really think that I would leave you at this point with is that you need to start seeing yourself with that love, not hating yourself or the reflection that you have. I'm picking up on 777 over here. I'm picking up on 1, 222, 333, 444. Might be a few angel numbers you've been seeing. Overall, I think that I'm also hearing that you might be attracting a soulmate. There's some timeline of 4 weeks, or maybe a new love, or your love situation improving or relatively getting quite better in 2 weeks moving forward. All right. So, pile number one, this was your reading. I am going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button. Subscribe for more. Hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below. And I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye. Hello, pile number two. If you choose the tree agate, this is going to be a reading. I feel guided to see the properties of tree agate. This is for self-examination, promotes inner stability, and amplified version to boost the immune system as well as. So similar to dendritic agate, this is about more of your environment, also cleansing your aura. I want to find out which chakra it is. I'm getting solar plexus intuitively, but I want to check which chakra this works with. The heart chakra. So this is, for green. Boost the immune system. So the solar eclipse in Libra, this majorly impacted four zodiac signs: Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries. I feel like yours was based off more Aries energy. You could have strong Aries in your chart. This is giving me one of the darker attributes of what this was targeting upon, because how an eclipse works is when the moon, comes in, shadows the sun. So, how it is giving me that this was like somewhere you had a certain level of codependency, where other people would come, like I'm seeing you as the sun and other people would be the moon. They would come and camouflage you. It's like you wouldn't have a good amount of personal identity. It would always, you would end up losing yourself in relationships. You wouldn't be able to put boundaries. You did not have a strong sense of self, and there was a lot of forgiveness that was happening. Evolution of self identity. This is the first house and the second house. First house is related with the way we see ourselves. This is about our self image, and the second house is related with our self worth. So first house can be like a Leo energy, perhaps, let's say that, right? Our boldness, the way we present ourselves. Leos are very, very confident, and they almost are like, they like to be in spotlight. Whereas if I go on to the second house, one zodiac sign that would represent it is Taurus energy. It is very focused on possessions, physical value, but also your self-worth. And you could be, you dealt with your fears of abandonment, um, and rejection, and the things that you have allowed people to do, or you have succumbed to requests, or in conflicts, and where you have really minimized yourself. Because the way I'm speaking, I feel hesitant. I am, not confident in what I am saying, even though I mentally comprehend it. That's what I feel. You were dealing with codependency issues that used to come in your um relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I am getting an emphasis on romantic. And it could have, see, it started off with the environment, again, tree agate. It started off with the environment you were introduced to in your childhood. So this was all learned behavior. So if you were a woman or a man, this is something that you had learned, where this is relatively all about feminine energy within both genders. um, Again, there are a lot of genders. So I try to be really, really mindful of these things. So I would probably use, three genders: male, female, and others. So you faced a lot of, I'm getting like karmic abuse, where people used to just come and do a lot of things to you, and you would just succumb to that. And that was something you were not willing to face. That's what I'm hearing in this eclipse season. You were reluctant. You could have also been in a misaligned partnership in this eclipse season. It could have resulted in a breakup, or if you have not done that, or if you're not in a partnership, this could have just resulted in you seeing your past self go through all of that, and you went through a purge where you really, really had to forgive all versions of you. That was very painful for you, is what I'm seeing. Because you, for the longest, did not want to see that. We have the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy. Surprisingly, you are such a strong person inside. And I think that as much as it baffles me, it baffles you and your consciousness, basically your soul. I don't think that you were mentally able to forgive yourself. You had so much shame, and disbelief because of those decisions within yourself. Like self trust has been an issue with you because, um, see, pile number two, I completely understand. We have the card, when I lean toward love, I am led. You were feeling lost in your life in some shape or form. If there were romantic opportunities coming towards you, you did not know who's the right person for you. You still, I think, relatively don't understand what you really deserve, and who deserves your time, effort, energy, money, everything, right? You are somebody that you manifest really quickly, and I think that if you manifest what you desire, if you don't look at the wound, that also manifests. So somewhere you might have manifested dysfunctional relationships because of you not being able to understand, or they were still, see, like when we're manifesting, you can't be oblivious to the fact that yes, supposedly I, as a girl, I'm writing down, certain things about what I want in my man, and I'm just like, okay, I want this, and then I don't realize, like, okay, for example, I have trust issues, and I'm just like, okay, I am defensive naturally. That is given, right? If you have trust issues, you're defensive. So trust issues always start from not having that self belief in yourself, right? And I would end up manifesting someone that is also defensive towards me, and I relatively don't know if they're the right person for me or not, because again, we're dealing with the heart chakra, because their heart is not open, because also my heart is not open. We're still manifesting from a wound. This doesn't mean that you have to be completely healed to be in a relationship, but it's like you would get confused. That's what I'm getting. So maybe you actually do have trust issues, not just with the other person but yourself, because of the example that I got. It's like they're telling me that um you have, because of your childhood, you have misled yourself into relationships, and you were not able to look back and take accountability. And I'm not saying that you don't want to take that accountability. I really feel that it was so painful for you to look at what you have put yourself through, to even drag yourself to this place where you have good amount of understanding that, hey, this is not good for me. So as long as we are feeling sorry for ourselves, we're still belittling ourselves, we're still not able to look ourselves in the eye and be like, so what, I made a mistake. That's what I'm seeing over here. You keep questioning yourself and your decisions because the universe protects you from people. That doesn't mean that you don't have any knowledge. I feel like the aftermath of it is still making you a little bit, wobbly in your own foundation and sense of self, where you're just like, hey, do I really know what's good for me? You know what's not good for you. That is as good as knowing what is good for you. Like, obviously, certain people, see, I believe in one thing, that is that in life you can't figure out everything that you want, but through experiences at least you figure out what you don't want, and that really narrows down your options. So even though you might not be where you want to be, and you might not have that person in your life, and you might not be the person that you want to be, but it doesn't mean that you're not trying your best, or you're not doing what needs to be done. You are doing your best, and that credit should be given where it is due. I feel like this eclipse could have brought out that pain within you, where you're still trying to, you're trying to rationalize your philosophical life experience. You can't rationalize spirituality. Everything that you've been through in terms of elevation is not something that you have rationally solved it like a math equation. The universe is way too intelligent for us to even figure out where it is taking us, and it is taking us to our, wildest dreams, and God will bless you bigger than what you've asked for. I feel like I'm getting 9,000 energy. I'm being directed towards that. Your faith could have been really tested. You could have been like, I don't want to pray. Joy is the ultimate creator. We have the ultimate creator, God, the universe, whatever you believe in. I feel like you are somebody that's religious or spiritually believe in certain level of divine power looking after all of us, and your faith was really being tested. There was a lot of Neptunian energy, things looking like, I feel like you had options. You had options, or there was somebody in your mind. It doesn't have to be, a couple of people. It can just be maybe option between two people. It can just be an option to be with one person or not, to go back to that person or not, to move forward in life or not. There could be a number of scenarios. I don't know your personal journey, but I feel like it's very related with relationships and partnerships, how it was affecting you, and how this self-worth issue was manifesting in other areas of your life. There could be this loneliness wound, where you're not happy without a person in your life. You need someone to make you happy. This has really made itself known. If you're hanging out with your friends, if you're out there traveling, you're doing something, there's always this sinking feeling, right? There's always this heart sinking feeling. It's not actually something is wrong with you. It's just, it's not even that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. It's somewhere where there's that loneliness in your heart that comes from your childhood, and that is something, I hate to break it to you, and I feel like you already know this, that cannot be fulfilled with a romantic partner, because you will always find romantic partners that imitate your parents. So if you go out there with this loneliness, you're not completely able to understand, and you're like, I need a person to feel happy. You will manifest a person that reflects back your daddy issues or your mommy issues. So you won't be looking exactly for an equal, or you won't be aware of exactly who you want and what your preference is or what your type is, but you will go out there looking for your pattern, the pattern that was created in your household, or you will manifest that in your life. See, manifestation, this world, the spiritual world, is so complex, and it can only be understood with small, like accumulation of experience, life experience. Because as a soul, you might be an ancient soul, you might know a lot of things. You can do past life regression, you can do heck a lot of things, you can do voodoo and all that. But things that you're carrying in your heart, things that you're carrying in your mind, will ultimately manifest. This was something that I explained in the last reading that I posted. It was about the secrets uh, that are ready to be revealed, Akashic records. I remember the third pile very strongly. It was all about how not only the light attribute but the dark attribute manifest, and your life is just a reflection of what you're carrying inside. And that is the worst. I know that's the worst thing to hear when you're going through something, but it should give you enough information to realize like how you can become the creator of your own life. I think we're going to move on to the financials. um, they completely just cut off the conversation about love. I think we're supposed to talk about how this was manifesting in your finances or career. I keep hearing God is there for you. Like you felt like, the universe has just forgotten you or just is not looking after you like it used to. Or if you're doing something wrong, you're not. I feel like a few of you actually sit and gaslight yourself. I refrain from using such terms because I'm not a professional, but there's something that spirit is really using the word gaslight. You torment yourself mentally, and it is because of the wounds that you have. Now, this could have also been a part where you were going through a lot of warfare, where your limiting beliefs were magnified, amplified by the negative energies around you. You could be generational pattern breaker. So when you're a pattern breaker, you move differently, and it affects you differently because certain family members could still be attached with, those spirit would still be attached to them. And when they see you elevating, it's like they try to pull you back down, right? So prayer is so important and protection is so important, so that you have a shield around you, like, you have a shield around you, or like what we call an armor of God, or something that really protects you from these negative entities from feeding into that too much, right? So when you already have that wound, and you don't have faith in it, especially like, oh, let's say you were going through money problems, um, and it really amplified all the fears that you have with what you would be left with if you don't have money. It really could have caused you a lot of stress, anxiety, and helplessness within you. But this is where the universe wanted you to start believing in the fact that it is there for you. This was all about your root chakra, again, the red color, that's near the spinal area. For all of this coming from your childhood. And yeah, I understand that, you might be aware of it, you don't like hearing this. But I see comments where people are like, more healing, and they're just sarcastic and they're just not able to cope up with the fact that they have to do more healing. I honestly can't give you any consolation on the fact that there is healing to be done. Like, what do you expect? I can't sugarcoat your journey. It's that, uh, yeah, I honestly can't sugarcoat the fact that you have to go through healing if you want a healthy partnership. I I would honestly share that pain with you. I feel this, okay? I feel this myself. But um, somehow, again, I really, really believe in a higher power. So that's where it gets me through with all these moments. And you know how they say, like, with every drop makes an ocean? That's what I believe in. So I think how I cope up with this, and maybe it might work for somebody out there, is that I don't look at the journey so far. I look at where I am. And personally, me, I'm a person who takes day by day. That's how I cope with things. So if that works with you, don't look at how high you have to climb. Just look at where you are and the small steps you have to take. You know how when you go for trekking, so you just look at, when I went for trekking, oh my god, um, that was my first time, and I remember that I was so scared, and it was the rainy season, the worst season to be going for trekking, and it was all slippery in the forest, and um I really had to just make it through because I had an Airbnb like the other side of the mountain. And it was so scary for me. Plus, I was wearing Converse shoes, which were not trekking shoes again. And it's like they just broke it to me. Like when we booked it, it was a very impromptu, getaway, and they booked it, and then we had to, I had to leave the next morning, and I had no idea. And of course, if I haven't ever been on a trek, then obviously I don't have the shoes for it. I was just casually trekking in my Converse shoes, which are not made for trekking, right? Because they're too flat. And I was slipping through it. And the way I was, because it was mentally challenging me, because if I trip, I bloody trip. And I don't even know if somebody's going to be able to save me, right? So I was just focusing upon my step. I was not looking ahead, and most definitely, I was not looking on my side because I would be an idiot to do that because I also am scared of heights. So I was just, keeping my focus on two steps, like two steps, just take two steps and two steps and two steps and two steps. And I made it through. Like, that's how I was doing it by myself because I saw it as an opportunity. Like, okay, I'm being challenged right now. But I don't want to back down. Like, I think I get a thrill out of doing that with to myself. But that's what happened over there. Like, I mean, it probably might not sound like a big deal for somebody, but it was pretty big because I live in like plain fields. So that was pretty, what's that word? It gave me a high. It's a natural adrenaline, right? And having to get that done was also pretty fun. So, I hope that this just really makes it easier. Examples really work well for me. So, I hope this story, like, at least helps you understand that yes, it can mentally challenge you, but then. If you're just willing to take two steps forward, then you're done with the whole journey of it, or you're just done with that part of trekking, right? You can go back to your B&B and just chill, right? So it's not that you'll always be on the go. You don't have to force yourself to purge it out. If you're trying to be perfectionist about the fact that I want to completely be done with my healing, what will you do then? What will you do after that? You'll search for another challenge. That's how human mind is programmed. If you figure out everything today, how your life is going to turn out, what would be the fun? I am not even saying this for a philosophical twist or just to sound nice and wise. I'm genuinely asking you because somebody told me this and I was really contemplating my thought pattern. Like, if you actually know how everything will pan out, what will you do in life? You would know where you're going to be at what time, and what is going to be the the fun of it, or what would be the mystery of life. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Again, we have the sun, moon, and you literally have the eclipse. I was about to say emoji, but depiction. So you're somebody that's growing, okay? A lot of your growth might not be visible in the physical realm. I think that is the best consolation I can give you. It might not be manifesting as strongly as you want in your physical reality, but just see. I feel like what would actually be good to give you that reassurance that your work is actually working is that that sinking feeling in your heart that you carry everywhere you go is actually minimizing. You're not feeling that lonely. This is all that work is rewarding you with: contentment. And that is how it feels. Because maybe as a child, you've had that feeling of hollowness, trying to fill it with romantic partners here and there. That's why you get lost in other people. That's why you have this, codependency that gets you stuck in other people, that merges that line between you and other people. That is actually trying to make its way out of your life. Okay, so pile number 2, this was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the pink opal, this is going to be a reading. So I feel guided to search for the benefits of Pink opal, enhanced mental clarity, improved communication skills, and self confidence. It is also, I feel like uh, your energy is very strong with Capricorn placements, or just the embodiment of that. Solar eclipse in Libra was majorly impacting four zodiac signs: Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries. Um, and I think yours could be based on a shadow attribute of conflict, that could be internal conflict, internal struggles, or it could be manifesting outwardly as well. But I see a lot of, maybe you've been battling with the depression, a lot of anxiety, but there's uh um it is something that is not just coming from one. It's like in uh a state of being. So either you could be functionally depressed. Now that I'm not diagnosing you, I am not, authorized to do that. I'm not a professional. But I am picking up on tones of depression, or just depressive state, or you're having episodes. Now that comes in when you're functionally depression, depressive, and you have a prolonged stage of first working out and then you burn out, then working out and then you burn out. So it might be good for you to hire a therapist if you can afford that, or uh, uh, face give more of your emotional body a little bit of priority with your health at this point. And that could have been something that was amplified through this eclipse season, that could have really shown you something prominent. So now I feel like a few of you could also be Libras yourself. That could be your ascending or rising. A lot of it was based off your personal identity and the beliefs that you carry. I'm picking up on strong north node energy over here. So we have the devil. So this is Capricorn. That's what I said, right? You have strong Capricorn energies. This devil card in this deck always reminds me of something about the skulls. It's almost like goddess Kalima. This is in Hindu mythology. She is another version, lack for a better word, of Parvati Ma. You could have ginger hair, but something about archery. It's like defining. I feel like Eclipse was hitting you in a very different way than other two previous piles, because um, it seems like your overall state of being, pile number three. It seems like you've been going through a rough time. I'm picking up 6 to 7 months for few of you. This could be. It's not giving exactly dark night of the soul. It's really giving me that you're not doing well mentally. You're not doing well mentally, emotionally, physically. It's really impacting you. So that could be impacting in. I'm getting the look at your nails. Something about that physically is, for some of you, your nails are showing you, or your tongue. Go look at your tongue in the mirror. um it's showing you the internal state of your body with the amount of trauma and negativity that you're carrying. I don't know if you're involved in substance abuse, you're doing something, you're not taking good care of yourself. I'm not, most definitely not at all trying to criticize you. We're understanding a little bit about what's happening with you, and what is the impact of the pain, or I'm seeing stagnant water, like what that trauma and that wound has been festering, and it's been doing to you inside. It's like physically manifest. See, emotionally you can stop the energy. You don't want to feel pain, you won't feel happiness, you're going numb. But when the nervous system, the body, the cells, they're carrying everything, your body remembers each and everything, every feeling. You're not allowing the energy to flow. It starts manifesting physically. So you could be having hair fall. If you're not being able to take care of your body that well, you could be getting dandruff. You're getting health problems, or for some of you, you have um, hereditary thyroid, that like I think it fluctuates and increases, right, with age. That's where you put on weight. So somebody is trying to not take their medicines because their thyroid medicines make them crave a lot of food. um, it's just examples that I'm getting, okay. um, where I don't know if you're reaching a point where you're not able to accept the fact that your body is changing so much. This could be postpartum depression as well. This could be that, you're not able to accept the way your body looks. Somebody went through a C-section. It's like you feel guilty for feeling like having a child or bearing a child has done that to your body. There's nothing wrong with that. You feel wrong for feeling those emotions. I want to let you know that there's nothing wrong with that. However you feel is valid. um, your feelings might not be the facts or the reality of the moment, but they are important. Your feelings are important. Pile number 3. I feel like reading the 7th law for you from this book, The Law of Dharma or Purpose in Life, page 87. So this says, the 7th spiritual law of success brings the preceding 6 laws for fruition. When we master the law of Dharma, the whole universe is on our side. Every law and power of nature comes to our aid and supports us spontaneously. Self-exploration isn't a task we accomplish and then abandon. Every person is a never-ending project for the universe. The law of Dharma implies more than seeing work that we love. It implies our unique destiny, our place in the cosmic plan. It implies a shift in consciousness that begins when we align ourselves with the highest version, and then we become manifestation of that version. The force that serves as a bridge to such transformation is also known as Dharma. Your North Node, I told you that, right? Your North Node is really important over here. It's like you're defying the flow of your life, whether it be aging, whether it be the ebb and flows of your relationships. You might be in a relationship with someone, or that could just be you, or that could be that you're that person in, your dynamic with another person, or your partner, that you're changing and you're feeling aloof, you don't know yourself, and it's creating a discrepancy in connecting with your person as well as you used to before. And I think, and I see, I'm not going to throw fake sympathy or empathy. um um I hope to comfort you, but I wouldn't give you fake consolation that I understand how you feel. So the most I can say is, you're carrying shame or you're guilt tripping yourself for feeling the way you should. You don't include fake gratitude. That is something I can relate with. Toxic positivity is not just in, um, it's almost like you shouldn't force yourself to feel happy when you're not feeling that for yourself. Don't lie to yourself. People can preach whatever they want, but if it's a time where you just want to grieve something in your life, whether it be just a past version of you, that is completely okay. Whether you're somebody's person, whether you're a mother, whether you're a father, whether you're somebody's brother, whatever role you play in other people's lives, you share the most important relationship with yourself. That gives me, the Capricorn energy, there you are somebody that completely relies on yourself. So moments like these feel very alienated when you're not able to connect with yourself. You feel aloof, and you are somebody that I feel like carries a lot of burden, and right now you're trying to really put that down. um, I'm getting the Knight of Cups energy. It is like a commitment to self. You have committed a lot to yourself, and right now your body is not able to work as well as you want it to work, and maybe you're criticizing it. Maybe you're criticizing it and you're forgetting what all it has done for you. Whatever phase you're at, it's not permanent. But that doesn't take away your right to feel what you're feeling in the moment. Today, even a moment, a minute can feel a lot to you. And that is okay because this is your life. You owe it to yourself more than you owe it to other people to play the roles that you have been playing or they expect you to play in their lives. Do you know that reel or that quote that really floats around? I think it was by Jim Carrey. He says that depression is when your body is at deep rest because it's tired of playing the character that you have been telling it to play. You're grieving a version of you. Every phase of your life requires a different version. Right now, this is the one that is bridging you to a better version. That's just what we read, right? You are actually on the path of your north node. That's what I would like to tell you. That's what, this whole rambling um, was really trying to bring us around. It comes into a full circle telling us that spirit is saying this is your north node. This phase is so important for you to submerge in deep waters of what has been and what has been of you and what you've been through and how difficult it has been for you. One of the most what's that word, everlasting quotes is that just because we carry burden, that doesn't mean it's not heavy on us, and the universe knows it's been heavy on you. And you often find yourself crying while driving your car, working in the kitchen, cooking a meal for you, eating food. Like, I see you doing the most mundane things. That's when you break down. Being by yourself just makes you feel sorry for yourself, and the only way to go through it, to grow through it, is to go through it, right? We can't really do much about it. I honestly do feel for you, but I don't want to ever make you feel like you're not strong enough. um there's only a lot that a person on the other end of the screen can say to you, but there's a lot that you're just going through and you're thinking about. And um, I think that this eclipse has really brought those feelings, or it has really amplified that feeling of like something really anchors you. That's the only feeling that I am getting right now. Like, it's really pulling you down, and it has been. And the universe was like, it's about time. Like, we don't want you to be going through that. So I am going to pull out a few cards to see what is going to happen next. I do feel like saying one thing, it's so cliche. We say, like, hang in there, it'll come through. Like, this is your moment of resilience. It doesn't mean that, Spirit wants you to do more. It just wants you to keep yourself together. That's all I'm trying to say over here. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Again, I am gonna go with my gut and say that don't force yourself to be happy, okay? Even though the card says joyful presence, there's a reason why Spirit sent you to me, because Spirit knows that I am not a person who would force herself to be happy when she's not. And that is my way of being authentic. Like, hey, if I am not, you best believe if I am not feeling good, you're gonna get to know that. That doesn't mean I'll be spitting, fireballs at you. I would probably just distance myself. But if I told you that I need my space, it means I need my space. I can only be my best version or share my energy with other people when, I feel good about myself. Isn't that implied? So, however much time you need right now, please don't feel the burden to keep other people happy and show up for them when you're not able to show up for yourself right now. I feel like by collecting or keeping yourself together, that means don't lose hope that this won't surpass. This is that bridging, the bridge between your old self and your new self trying to emerge right now. And it's pretty heavy. But this is just how life is. Pile number three. No pain, no gain, honestly. It has been, I think that a lot of it has been about, actions and consequences, habits, breakdowns, and I see a lot of mentally it has been really bothering you. Um, this could have been that you're grieving the absence of a father figure. This could have been you've been grieving a strong relationship in your life. Whoever you've had this relationship with has been a karmic. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that they, in the spiritual realm, took up the role to play this role in your life so that you can ascend, right? So, however, this person is, I would give you an alternative perspective, whether you like to accept that or not. Um, if this person was available in your life, if this person or the situation was working out the way you wanted it to be, you wouldn't be so exceptionally resilient. Again, your resilience is not the amount of trauma that you had to endure. It is this spirit within you, which is like, I'm not giving up no matter what. And I feel like you do it just for yourself. That is the spirit that I'm talking about. Unbreakable. And if this person was present, you wouldn't be so self reliant, self sufficient like you are today. And that is precisely what your North Node wanted you to experience. I feel guided to read the third law. This is the karma of cause and effect. I do have actions and consequences in my notes for you as well. You might be someone who can do automatic writing, or you get a lot of information through the dream state. You have a strong you have some sort of strong relation with the astral realm. You travel a lot as of now. So I've written what you reap is what you sow on my book in my book, and this says that karma is both action and consequences. Everyone has heard the expression, what you sow is what you reap. If you want to create happiness, we must learn to sow the seeds of happiness. They're telling me that right now you're questioning. This eclipse was also making you predominantly, you already had these, questions in your head like, what is this bringing in my life? Why is it here? And I think that they want to let you know that this is so that you can release that negativity that was stored inside you. These were all subconscious fears or trauma that was inside you already. And um, what I see that if it was the absence of a strong, the strong absence of a father figure, or it was something else, or the absence of something else, or the deficiency of that in your life, how that shaped you as a child and then into this adult today is something that, how we peel layers of the onion. That is what the universe was like, take it off. This is not who you are. We take it off right now. That's what I'm picking up over here. And that's why this process is so painful, because your personality or your ego, when it developed out of defense as an infant, your personality revolved around that, what had happened to you. So that childhood trauma became a part of your, or it was, it resulted in that specific way of being. And now spirit's like, no, this is not who you are. I see 555. Strong changes over here. You are different and you know this. Just what spirit wants you to understand. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The universe really wants you to rest because you're doing a lot of hard work on your emotional and spiritual body. The Hierophant in reverse. You're feeling like you're not able to connect with your higher self. If you feel like you're not meditating right now, you don't want to meditate, I never really recommend that you should not pray. That is just my personal thing. It's my own routine, or something that I rely upon. That doesn't mean that I'm going to impose that on you, but I do recommend it. um, Knowing that you are not praying, but to understand that there's something that is wanting you not to pray. Does that make sense? So I see in my own perspective, again, that I think that spiritual awakening and depression are two sides of a door, and you kind of have to grieve who you have been, because there are certain strong egoic parts of ourselves that really need to be dissolved for us to become closer to ourselves. And this is where spirit is really taking you. Pile number 3. I think that there has been a lot of emphasis about your relationship with yourself rather than the relationships you've had with other people or your financial status or yada yada yada. But I see this being more and solely focused on how you are, what the universe wants to let you know. I would leave it at this, that they want you to feel happy within yourself. This is literally what they want, and they know that this is the process, because all these triggers, insecurities, fears, anxiety that you've been carrying, you walk around, that quote. I've quoted so many things in your reading. Turns around, you carry yourself everywhere. So you might go for a vacation, you might go here and there, but you're still carrying that heaviness within you, and this is what wants to dissipate. It just wants to go away. So just let it fly away, just let it fly away. Okay. I'm going to conclude your reading over here, pile number 3. I really do hope that this was helpful in any shape or form. If it was, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, with the bell icons, whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. If you wish for personal readings, just give it down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye.